Hello, everybody. It's time for another chat. Thanks for joining me today. Start off with a little bit of humor, as we always do. Hopefully, you can see my screen. I'll enlarge a little bit. How many did you catch? So, everybody's looking down at their phone, texting, and looking at the internet, even on the beach. Your new pacemaker includes a Pac-Man game that gobbles up the cholesterol in your arteries. I wish that was true. Do I get partial credit for simply having the courage to get out of bed and face the world again today? I feel the same way sometimes. Just so you know, what you do next will directly affect the quality of your Father's Day gift. Grandma, how do you work this phone with the little wheel on it? I haven't seen one of those phones in quite a while. COVID-19 update. We have no active cases, resident or employees. All precautions and restrictions remain in place. This includes no visitors to our campus unless end of life or resident wellness. Restricting all trips to essential purposes, screening and temperature checks, social distancing, etc. There is hope, though. We will talk about that in a minute. Since this all began, we've had 7 COVID-19 positive employees. Like I said, no active cases. All residents and associates have been tested in the healthcare center and assisted living. No residents positive, no new cases in the last 3 weeks. Only essential visits allowed in the healthcare center, and that's end of life for resident well-being. We are continuing to coordinate with Texas Department of Health and Senior Services and the Austin Public Health Authority, as well as LCS, Life Care Services. We have been monitoring the impact of COVID-19. The situation is improving based on state and regional criteria, advice from public health officials, and the health status of our community. We will begin a deliberate phase reopening process. That'll take some time, but we are beginning that. We will follow directions of the Opening Up America Again plan that states senior living will open in phase 3. How our decisions are being made, basically, we have metrics that we're monitoring. We're analyzing all of the different metrics that are reporting COVID cases and death rates, both on the state and county and community level. We're putting all of that data into an analytics software that's projecting for us our safe dates to open each phase. Reopening Westminster, COVID-19 tracker analysis that we're using tells us that we can safely begin to reopen starting with phase 1 on June the 10th. Reopening our community document will be in your boxes by Friday this week, along with a summary of my chat today and question and answers. Further phases, advancing to further phases really depends on the results in this phase. I need everybody still to be diligent in cooperating with all the precautions and restrictions we have in place. Each phase is to last between 4 and 6 weeks, depending on our results. This is an example of the document that you will see in your mailboxes today. These will be in your in-house boxes actually between now and Friday, probably Thursday or Friday. And again, this is effective June the 10th. Just an overview, we will continue with meal delivery. We will add carry-out pickups by reservation only to the meal service, so you could actually potentially come pick up your meal if you don't want to have it delivered. And that's phase 1. Phase 1 with regard to activities, group activities will begin with 10 or less. Use of common spaces, 10 or less. Social distancing practiced, of course. Transportation for essential medical appointments still. We're not going to open up transportation for anything else right now. The little store remains open. You can see as you advance through the phases that the restrictions lessen. So larger group activities are allowed in phase 2, 20 or less. use of common spaces. We're also going to try towards the end of June to do a larger group activity with 30 residents or so, with a sign-up sheet available, and those will take place in Harrisville Hall during phase one. Housekeeping services, modified housekeeping, including bathrooms, kitchens, and bed changes, will still include localization. In phase two, in about 4 weeks from June 10th, we'll do modified housekeeping, adding vacuuming to the services, and then deep cleans possible as needed with department head approval, so Antonio's approval. And then phase three, of course, regular housekeeping resumes and deep cleans as well. Visitors, with regard to visitors, a lot of the restrictions stay in place. We will open up visitation from 8 in the morning to 4 p.m. and those visits will be outside. We'll set up a couple visiting stations that you can visit with family. Those will be by appointment, so you'll need to call a reception desk to schedule those, and we'll do our best to accommodate those on a limited basis. Those will be with social distancing practices in place, and there'll probably be physical barriers as well to some degree. We must continue to practice precautionary measures currently in place. Visitor restrictions will continue. June 10th, we'll start to open up some of those visitor restrictions, allowing those visits 8 to 4 p.m. Masks are required in all common areas. That's for residents as well. Screening processes will continue. And then we're going to, we are rolling out a Heroes Pledge for our associates. And we thought it might be a good idea for residents and families too. The Heroes Pledge basically says that you understand COVID-19 is a serious threat and to yourself and the lives of your family, your friends, your neighbors, Westminster staff, and that you pledge to uphold infection control measures at all times and in all places, and will proactively coach your family and friends to do the same. And so you're pledging to wear a mask at all times, but not public. Avoid group gatherings without social distancing, of course. You need to maintain social distancing in every gathering. I will wash my hands regularly and use hand sanitizer. I understand that, in following these measures, I'm reducing the risk of COVID-19. So it's a really simple pledge, but it's a good reminder to all of us. We are very eager to be with one another. Yet I am too. I'm tired of being stuck in my office all day. I want to get out there and visit with you again. I miss that as well. But we must continue to be cautious. We need to be aware that if there's a resurgence of the virus in our community, it may be necessary to reinstate all precautionary measures. I hope not. If we can maintain our diligence and continue to do the things that we need to do, like hand washing and staying home when we're sick and maintaining social distance, wearing your mask, we should be able to safely reopen in this phasing. Again, the beginning, the introductory phase one will start Wednesday, June the 10th. I'm grateful for all of you with your ongoing support, dedication, and cooperation. I know it's a rough time. We're all getting cabin fever. We want to get out. And I really do appreciate all of the emails and notes that you've been sending me. It really brightens my day, and I try to share those with the associates as well. And definitely brightens their days. So your question and answers this week: when will the tree be replaced in front of the Preston that was damaged and removed? We did have to remove that tree. It was just too damaged. The arborist said it would not survive. So we're getting a bid this week. Our plan is to replace that tree by the end of this month, depending on Brightview's schedule. Is Westminster getting prepared to provide a vaccination once vaccinations are available for COVID-19? Yes, we will. We can respond quickly when a vaccine is available and can administer with current staff available, much like our flu clinics. So it works really well. We're really good at that. what is planned to facilitate our ability to vote safely? We cannot do the mobile voting station. That's still not a capability. We are fighting that. I think some residents are part of a group that is challenging that, and we're absolutely supportive of that. We will be working with Travis County Elections to obtain mail-in voting ballots for our residents and helping you register for that. Hopefully we will be able to provide some limited transportation in November for the November election. I know there's elections coming up in July. That's going to be mail-in voting pretty much. We're not going to be able to offer any transportation for that. Could you help, or could you develop a simple handout on what is tentatively planned for each phase? So I'll roll that out one phase at a time, but yes, you are getting a handout which will be distributed by this Friday, June the 5th, and that handout looks like this, and I showed you an example earlier. Please give an update on the Carlisle. The Carlisle and Windsor expansion are slated to begin in July. We are planning on closing the financing on June the 18th. We have an excellent financial deal for the financing piece, really good interest rate. The project came in within budget. The project remains 100% sold and has been approved by the board of directors, which occurred last Thursday. I want to thank you all for your help with this expansion. I haven't forgotten that you rode our buses downtown to the city council and helped me with rezoning. I appreciate that much. It couldn't have happened without you. Could you mention Bob and Margaret Kelly in your chat? Congratulations to Bob and Margaret Kelly on your 50th anniversary, which was Tuesday, June the 2nd. Congratulations, 50 years, wow. Any idea when Amanda, the hearing aid gal, will be coming back to Westminster and how to sign up to see her? She will be allowed to come back after June 10th. We have reached out to her and we'll be posting notices and sign up sheets as soon as we have those dates. If Westminster is a tax-free entity, please explain why we do pay tax for things you buy and resell to us. So we are required to charge sales tax for items sold in the little store. The little store is not considered an exempt purpose for Westminster by Texas law. So it's not our primary reason for having a 501c3 qualification. So we're still obligated to charge sales tax on items that we sell in the little store. Question, is someone responsible for checking expiration dates on items sold in the little store? Yes, we should be checking expiration dates. The Food and Beverage Associate should be checking this, and I passed on that concern because I assume that you've seen something that was expired being sold, and that should not happen. So they'll be addressing that. Question, there have been delays in repairing the garage doors, pool heater, and our Wi-Fi. It seems like each time the delay is caused by not having a necessary part. Can our management company, LCS, help in getting the necessary parts to us? We are typically using the LCS purchasing network to get necessary parts for equipment. Unfortunately, many systems are custom systems to Westminster and require special parts that are not always readily available. We have been working on streamlining our systems and standardize as much as we can over time to eliminate some of that delay. It's really pretty common though that even if your car breaks down, they may not have the parts needed in stock for your vehicle, and they have to send off for it. And sometimes it takes several days for that part to come in. So it's pretty common. Unfortunately, it has caused some delay, and that's one of the reasons we're trying to standardize as much as we can. Question, why can't I visit my friends in healthcare? The CDC and CMS have ordered no visits unless end of life or resident wellness to assisted living and nursing homes due to serving the most vulnerable populations in those areas. Hopefully you will be able to visit your friends soon. We'll be doing a little bit of that on a limited basis with social distancing practices in place. Question, when will we be able to have our mail put in our private U.S. mailbox? Well, that occurred yesterday. We were able to negotiate that with the post office, and now they are back to delivering their mail in the way that they should, which is putting it in the mailbox, those locked mailboxes, so you can have your privacy. And I apologize for that. We tried to work with the post office, and they just absolutely refused to be screened. So now we're escorting the mail carrier to the mail room. She's delivering the mail and then escorted out. We need to make sure that this person is not having any contact with residents, and that we're maintaining social distancing at all times. Question, can Westminster set up some buried bird feeders in both courtyards so residents can watch the birds? We will look into this with the help of the Building and Grounds Committee. I'll see what they think about that, and if that's something they think is a good idea, then we will start to look into that. Question, when do air filters get changed? Typically, they are changed every 3 months unless there is a special need. They were due to be changed in April, but were not able to be changed due to the coronavirus precautions that we had in place. They are being changed now. If yours is not changed by the end of the week, please call reception. And I noticed the guy changing the air filters just yesterday. So, question: Can you have a live feed camera on the Carlisle expansion during the construction phase or the construction process? And the answer to that is yes. We will have that in place shortly. We'll be doing that. It'll be on our website. Can we find some healthier pastries? Ours are very good, but high in calories. Yes, we're working on that. Are residents allowed to have emotional support pets in excess of 35 pounds? Are emotional support animals allowed in the restaurant? Yes, emotional support pets are allowed under the American with Disabilities Act. Westminster is compliant with all ADA requirements. There is, however, a certification requirement from both your doctor for your need of an emotional support animal and a veterinarian for the emotional support animal. So, are the emotional support animals allowed in the restaurant? The answer to that is no, because they're not a service animal necessarily. They are for emotional support. Can you provide some pictures of the offsite parking lot progress? Here you go, 3 pictures. I think these are the same 3 pictures that I showed last week, actually. We should be paving the parking lot this week, so I'll have an updated picture next time. Food and beverage information. During phase 1, starting June 10th, delivery will continue. So we'll still be delivering to your apartments. We will also add carryout service. The menu will be limited. Dining services will expand the menu as they are able to offer more choices. So initially, it'll be just the selection menu that you're currently using, and then they'll start to slowly expand the menu as they're able, and then offering the carryout option, so you can actually come to the dining room, to the buffet area, and pick it up. The continental breakfast will be available through delivery only through phase 1 reopening. Pickup is for lunch and dinner only. All orders will be picked up at the buffet area located in the Laurel. Signs will clearly mark the area, and an attendant will be available 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. There will be no eating, carry out, to-go orders in the dining room during phase 1. Lines will be limited to 3 residents with social distancing when picking up meals, and lunch hours will be from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Dinner hours will be served 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Did you know that a Visa debit card may be arriving in the mail, may have already arrived in the mail? This is not a scam. It is being provided to you by the IRS. Some residents may have received the money via direct deposit. Some residents, because they don't use direct deposit, may be receiving a Visa debit card that looks like the one I have pictured. This is actually from the Austin American-Statesman article. The cards are marked with Visa debit, and the back has the logo of MetaBank. Also, the value for a single taxpayer is $1,200. If you need a new card, if you threw your card away or you cut it up and threw it away, you can contact customer service at 1-800-240-8100 and follow the prompts. A few reminders: please wear your name badges. Mask must be worn when outside of your apartment. Please maintain social distancing standard of 6 feet. Please wash or sanitize your hands often. If you have a car, you may want to run that car for a few minutes once a week to keep the batteries fresh. Please return all carts to their original location. If you need assistance, please call reception desk to pick them up. Your neighbors need to use those too. Stay strong, stay safe. Thank you for making Westminster an extraordinary place to work and to live. And we look forward to our groundbreaking, and we'll be giving you all a gift to celebrate our groundbreaking on the expansion very soon. Thank you so much for everything you're doing to keep all of us safe. Appreciate you very much.